Welcome to Faith Avenue right here, Cage and the Clay segment with your brother Mr. Cage. I'm so excited today because we are right in my plot compound, just after Chipata compound, right in between Chipata compound and is it Kabanana? Yes, somewhere in between. All right, and we are right in the residence in the house of Bishop Fred Mwale, actually the founding bishop of Mission Breakthrough Outreach. Welcome to Cage and the Cage.
Thank you so much.
You're looking good.
Yeah, feeling so good.
Okay.
Yeah, just been traveling around.
Okay.
And I'm just back home.
Great.
Yeah,
Great to have you. Great to have you. All right. We also have the brother to the bishop right here, and he's actually called Reverend Fred Mwale as well. Welcome to Cage and the Cage, Reverend.
Thank you very much.
You're looking good as well.
Yes.
Indeed, you look alike. All putting on, sunglasses.
Yeah,
it runs in the blood, right?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I want you to be free, even as we just interact. We're just going to get in your life, especially, Bishop Mwale, Fred, because we are all Mwales. So I need to be very specific. So tell me, first things first, how are you? How is the family?
Yeah, the family is all right. This is my older brother.
Okay.
Reverend Fred Mwale.
You almost called him your name.
Sure.
You're so synonymous, even. You look alike.
Sometimes when you're on the stage, you get a little bit of fog for the camera, but I think we'll settle down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we are a family. I think basically we're a family of 10, but now we are 4 remaining.
Okay.
I think 3 of us remaining. Most of them are late.
Oh, okay.
And so he's my other brother, and I'm the last born in the family.
Wow. So what number is he in the family?
He's number 9.
Are you Reverend?
Number 9.
Yes, 9.
Number 9. Oh, number 8.
He's
Between
10.
you and I, there's one that passed away. Yes, he's number 8, and I'm number 10.
Number 10.
In the family.
Ah, okay.
Yes, and the interesting thing is also a minister of religion.
Great.
I'm also a minister of religion. He's the first one who got converted.
Wow.
And then I followed later on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's briefly about our family. We had a mom. Our mom was quite old. I think he outlived Psalms because he lived up to 120 years.
Wow.
That's the time she passed away. So she left great great children. But the interesting thing about our mom is that she was a woman of faith. I learned Christianity from her.
Wow.
Yeah, especially after daddy died. You're living like orphans, you have no support. She used to gather us together and come my children, Elijah was fed by ravens, and then come and you would pray together as a family. And then sometimes we'd find someone bring something home, she should gather us together. You see that manna we told you about, this is the food.
Right, manna from the Bible.
Manna in the Bible. That's the way she used to call it.
Okay, great.
So she was a woman of faith. I think in the village where she came from, she managed to, because her background was CCAP, which we call...
What is that?
CCAP, that's what was that? Dutch Reformed.
Oh, okay.
Reformed, yes.
Okay.
Dutch Reformed Church of Zambia. Where she was, I think she managed to get established. And then when she came here in town, where we went to Chalimbana, where we were staying, she's one of the founding members of UCZ in the Chongo area, Chalimbana.
Okay.
So that's a bit of our background, our mom.
All right. So tell me, what tribe are you?
I'm Ngoni Chewa.
Okay.
That is part of our family is Chewa, and part of our family is Ngoni.
How?
So it was a mixture.
What happened?
Mom is Chewa, dad was Ngoni.
Ah, okay. Okay.
That's how we're Ngoni Chewa.
Okay, I see. So now tell me, when were you born?
I was born in 1960. 1964.
You see, you are the right-hand man right there.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay.
I was born in 1964 on 5th March 1964 in a town currently called Chongwe.
Ah, wow. Yeah,
okay. That's where my credentials are. By that time, Dad was working at Mystical, Chalimbana, I think that area. because I was working double there and here in town. The arrangement was we have Chalimbana there, and when the students are training as teachers,
Okay.
they would come to town doing the teaching practice. So they had two.
So what was
two
his
boards.
what was Dad's profession?
He was a chef.
Ah, okay.
Daddy was a chef. Mom was basically a housewife, but
Okay.
later on she was what do you call hostel attendant. Yeah, hostel attendant
Okay.
at the college.
Now, let me find out from Reverend Devi Mwale right there. Give me the experience, in a home, because Dad, was a chef and then Mom a housewife. When there's some competition when it comes to cooking in the, in the kitchen.
That's very interesting. No, there wasn't such a competition.
Okay.
Except that Dad used to guide Mom. This
Okay.
is the way, Emil should taste. Add this, with those spices.
Okay, this is how you mix them.
Then it becomes very appetizing.
Okay.
Sometimes I would get myself, could even bite my tongue. It was so appetizing.
Okay.
Yes.
And then there's
But
one
there wasn't any competition as such.
Okay, great.
and there was one family tradition we had. When Mom cooks a very good meal, and after we eat a meal, we'd all go into the kitchen.
Okay.
And we'd hold her hand and say, Mom, that was best cook.
Okay.
But when the meal is not very good, we used to go back to the kitchen and say, Mom, today it wasn't up to date.
It was a flop.
It wasn't up to date. What happened?
Okay, so tell me, what was like the best meal of the family?
The best meal of the family.
Like dish.
Okay. Our family liked very much, this natural food.
Okay.
Traditional.
And traditional. Things like vegetables, mushrooms. That was the best.
Limanda was our best.
Limanda
Okay.
and
Limanda was
okra.
the best.
Delel.
Who was the best cook at that?
Mom.
Okay, Mom, of course, not Dad. You see where I find begin to shape in.
Mom.
Was it really Mom or Dad?
At home, interesting thing, Dad was not so much in the kitchen.
Wow.
He left that to Mom to do.
Obviously, always came, home tired.
Yeah. He was not so much in the kitchen, but Mom used to do the cooking. But like I said, occasionally, a lint remains from the two. People in the kitchen.
Okay.
And you find it's distracting. And,
Okay.
yeah, occasionally he would be in the kitchen, but the kitchen was predominantly Mom's.
Okay, great.
area.
Now tell me about your academic background.
My academic background, I started my grade 1 in Kawata Primary School.
Okay.
Yeah, then
At what age was that?
that age 7.
Okay. When you used to
Yeah, the first time I went, they did that so I couldn't manage. And then second time, at least slightly managed.
Okay.
Then I went into grade
You
1.
finally, okay.
But I was in Kawata just for about 2 weeks. Then I transferred to Chalimbana Primary School. That's where I ended up to my grade 7.
Okay.
And then after grade 7, I qualified to go to Mumbwa Sandra School. That's why I did my grade 8. Form 1. That time it was Form 1
Okay.
to Form 5. I did it at Mumbwa Sandra School. It was at Mumbwa Sandra School where I met the Lord.
Okay.
And then became chairman for Scripture Union.
All right.
I was in Form
No,
4.
let's slow down. We'll get there definitely at some point.
Yeah.
I think because time is really running out, I want Reverend Mwale to just share with me one fascinating instance about him when he was young. When you look at it, you even say, something funny that happened.
Something funny that happened to this young man.
Where you even had to beat him.
No, but I never used to beat him.
You never used to? Not at one point?
No,
Okay.
I never did that.
Okay, great.
Because he was my favorite.
Ah, wow.
He remembers where I could take him for films at Plaza
Yeah,
those
Plaza,
days.
Okay.
I was 20
Palace.
No, I mean when we were
Come on,
very young,
Yeah.
like 10 years, 11.
I was close to him and he was close to me.
Okay.
Yeah, playing with wire cars.
Okay.
Things
That
like
was my
that.
favorite.
And the comics,
Yes.
Duck, those
Daft Duck,
cartoons.
Donald Duck,
Okay.
Goofy.
So
most of the
so
time,
share with
and
me
most of
one memorable occasion.
about him.
Yes, about him, of course.
Dancing.
Okay, what about dancing?
Yeah, he was very good at dancing.
Is that so?
He used to beat me.
When it comes to dancing?
Yeah, no, just like the way you see the late Mike Jackson.
Okay. Used to do some breakdance.
When you see him, you can dance.
Bish, are you able to break even now?
I think now I've left it to Junior.
Okay,
those are memorables.
Like he says, dancing was one of the things that I had. Even when I was at primary school,
Okay.
I was involved in the cultural dance group.
Okay.
I was one of the leading guys at Chalimana. Even when we would go to the shows, we would come out with a cap, cultural dancing.
Wow.
In Chalimbana, yes. I was also good with the jets and things like that at that time.
Great.
It was really good.
It was really good.
Very.
Okay, let's just take a break. Let's listen to the music of Magford for with the song Neighbor.
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa.
Bole mala bakumbwira bebayenda bakumbwira bananjinga bakumbwira bebayenza bafuna motoka ya plaza bakazikulu bakumbwira balina kanchito bananchito bakumbwira batupoto bakumbwira CEO boss naye akumbwira kugula ziko vinunkila vili umu batifuti vinunkila vina mumu benajerita lavune sina bumulo wayambosabaila iwe ni juju sungafya kasanga mulinso vimaletelela bachi masomaso iwe original OG no photocopy nkala wakutila manje iwe
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba.
tonight ambapo
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa.
Yo, iwe mudala ukumbwila fresha elo futi ka fresha kakumbwila blessa elo futi blessa akumbwila investor aona monga boma ili beta yes sir but boma idela abantu bamugeto nabo bamugeto bafuna basheteko nabo babipanga bafuna babaoneko ukumbwila lukumbwa na chimeko chikomekome cha mukuyu osa chikongereza mulinyelele we osa kumbwira veolibe chifuka veoli navo neba alibe kati udwala valunkumbwa bwela kuno osa nkala mumbwa yesu ni dokta aponesa matenda kuno zivanda monga mitengo timatimba
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa.
Kati manja ya kumbwira nchito ya mendo azasebeza nchito ya manja ni ndani
atibwa
olunga chidotolo akumbwira malonda azatitandiza mzipatara ni ndani ukute nayo nchito yako uonge Yesu mbuye ukute nayo nchito yako uonge Yesu mbuye
Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Kunyumba ukuja bati unusha vaneba. Vinunkila vaneba. Vimawama vaneba. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa. Wadwala matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa. Siya matenda ya lungumwa.
What a song, by Markford for right there. Neighbor. Okay, so this is Cage and the Clay segment, the place to be when you want to get, profound in the lives of the clergymen around. When you want to get meticulous, get deeper in profound information about them, we bring them right here for you. And right here, we are, in the life of, Bishop Fred Mwale.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So, we were talking about your academic background.
Okay.
So, share with me your experience. Say, in your primary school grades.
Our primary school grades were very interesting.
What was the most intriguing, instance?
One instance that I don't forget is I was made a captain. Those days used to be called a monitor of the class.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, the practice those days is when you write, you leave the books, and then in the morning, one of the duties, you pick them out and give them out to everyone around.
Exactly.
You call out the names. Then one thing is, I remember one instance is after giving out the books in the class, and it was time to write.
Okay.
And I couldn't find my own book.
Okay.
And then the teacher says, the teacher at that time was a madam called Madam Lukanganyama.
Okay.
In grade 1 at Chalimbana. So she said, "Where's your book?"
So you were made a monitor in grade 1.
Yes.
Okay. What was the secret? Was it age?
I don't know what it
brilliance?
was. I don't know what it was that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it was that time. So when she said, "Where's your book?" I said, "I don't remember where my book is." So she goes back to the cupboard. She picks my book. Says, "This is your book." So it's an instance where I'm calling out my own. I'm reading my own name, but I couldn't recognize it was my name.
Wow.
But
okay.
I could give out everyone. That I don't forget. That is the first thing that made me get into reading.
Okay.
I read even now.
Okay.
I read a lot of books. Yeah. So I think that is the instance that I remember most in grade 1 in those primary years. And then after I went to Sonra School, Lumwa Sonra School, I was involved in Scripture Union.
Okay.
And then, but there I was not involved in the issues of cultural dances.
Okay.
But a little of drama, the elite of drama, poetry that I did, and then in Form 4 I became I joined Scripture Union.
Okay.
Yeah. My background was that I was just religious, but in Form 4 that time I met the Lord. That's when I became a Christian. Then after my secondary school years, I went to Mufrida Teachers College where I trained as
All right, I want you to slow down. I want you to slow down. At what point did you realize that actually you had the gift of art in you?
When I went to secondary school, I used to write a lot of poetry.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to write a lot of poetry. And most of my poetry were expressions of my inner self. Okay. Especially after Daddy died, I had this inner pain inside. And this inner pain, I used to express it in poetry. Okay. So much of my poetry was sad. Okay. It has sad tones. And before that, we used to do a lot of poetry concerning apartheid, Soweto massacre, Soweto massacre, and those things. Those are the type of poetry we used to do, and that's what I used to be involved in. All right. My brother was good in art. Okay. What sort of art? Drawing pictures. What type of art do you do?
And just that will draw or paint anything, even yourself.
Okay. Are you able to do that now?
I can try.
Can you promise my picture, my drawing?
You can do something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Like that.
Is it the one who did that?
No, there's somebody else.
Okay, great. So tell me, you spoke of you being a dancer, Michael Jackson type. At what point did you start dancing?
I started when I was young. Our home had all sorts of music. We had the Beatles, the Jimi Hendrix, AC/DC,
just like classic music.
Classic music.
Okay.
Yeah, our home, right from when I was young, I was introduced to classic music. And so then there used to be an interesting event each time in Chalimbana. During Christmas time, there used to be Christmas parties. Okay. At home? Yeah. The whole community.
Neighborhood, okay.
Yeah, the whole community come together and they would have a Christmas party.
Okay.
A Christmas party and New Year's party. With those days, we used to call them the discotheques.
Okay,
so
great.
during there used to be dance competition, free dance competitions, as well as ball dancing competitions. Eating competitions.
Did you ever win at eating? Any of the eating competitions?
Eating, no, but the dances, yeah.
Okay. Was he taking part in eating competition?
No, he was one of the organizers.
Why? now tell me. I've realized that much of your life is not so much attached to village. Have you been to the village?
Once
in your
short
lifetime?
time, yeah, once in my lifetime. But even when where I was born in Chongwe, yeah, it's not very typical village type. Yeah, it's semi.
It's moderate?
Yeah, it's moderate because you're talking about your college, and then it's just nearer. It's not very typical village type. But I've been to the village 2, 3, 4 times.
What do you remember the most?
What I remember most.
Or what you hate about village?
I don't know. What do I hear? The nights.
What scared you?
The nights.
Okay.
The nights. You know, when you've been watching a lot of horror movies, so even when there's nothing, your mind picks us.
Okay, great, yeah.
So the nights in the village were not very comfortable with them.
Okay.
Yeah, because you would think something is gonna come out of the dark. Because you watch a lot of these horror movies.
And grab your neck, something like that.
Yeah, the nights. But overall, the good thing I liked about the village is values.
Okay.
Yeah, I learned values in the village than in the town.
Okay.
The respect for adults, how to live with other people, waking up early bells in the morning, the values of hard work, the values of waking up early and going back home late because you need to do some work. That I found was very helpful. Even I've grown up like that.
Okay, Reverend Dave, tell me, growing together as a family, what sort of thing would you say, provided that chemistry as a family, something that brought you together? What was so unique about your family?
Trust. Yeah, trust and also love.
Okay.
Yes, we never looked at each other and say maybe this one is more educated, this what. No, but we accommodated each other just as a family.
Okay.
So that united us so much.
Was it an extended family or a nuclear family?
No, not an extended family.
Okay.
Very nuclear.
Okay.
Our family is very nuclear.
But I think it's an obvious thing. If you have the same blood running inside of you, why should you develop hatred?
Sometimes when God is blessing the other one, you seem to think inside the gumbo,
Okay, I need to catch up.
Those things, just like Abel and Cain, you remember that story in the Bible?
Okay.
A similar thing would happen if one seems to be doing better than the other. But in our case, it was not like that.
But as you were growing up as young boys, that time around, did it ever cross your minds to say probably Bishop Fred Mwale at one point would be a bishop?
No.
Why?
The way God works.
Probably was he behaving contrary to what would culminate into being a bishop?
No. The thing is that okay.
Yes.
Just as I explained I myself was introduced to gospel music first than himself.
Okay.
So
him and choirs, you can't separate him. It runs in his blood.
Choir?
Even
wherever he goes, he raises a choir, he raises a praise team. Wherever he goes, him and music, you cannot separate him.
Okay.
But one thing that maybe he has forgotten is about my life.
Which part is that?
I was born very sickly. Yeah, 2 weeks. I was with chronic tonsillitis. Chronic tonsillitis. It used to get so worse that you'd wake up in the hospital. So one time when I was very young, that's what Mom tells me. You're coming from Kawata into town. Town center, there used to be Kanjombi stores and there used to be a chemistry there and a surgery. So one time the mom says it was so bad that when they went there, this doctor says this child will not reach home. And then so when they moved from there to reach as we reached where Findeco House was, my body got cold, and Mama began to cry that I was no more. That was with my other brother, who is late now.
Okay.
He used to play a lot of music in too. But then when we reached Kamala RSZ, that's where Mom used to go.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a Reverend, is it Reverend Kondowe? But I've never met him. He came out and met Mom crying. And he asked what was happening. And then they said, I think the child is late. And I was at the back of my older brother. And Mom was just crying. So I said, bring the child here. So he says he took me up into the church and laid me on the altar and, prayed, this boy, can you give us this boy back? Because he is going to be a reverend when he grows up.
The pastor of the church said those words.
RSZ Reverend.
Okay, Reverend.
RSZ Reverend.
Okay.
So he prayed 3 times, and Mom says, then I began to sweat. I came back to life.
Okay.
And that's the story Mom kept telling me about my childhood.
So what was your interpretation of this story?
Yeah, all it really ringed through my mind is one day I'm going to be a pastor.
You knew it?
Yeah, it just ringed in my mind how one day I'm going to be a pastor, but how I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, how I don't know. It just kept ringing like that. No, you know me, I'm a miracle child. One day I'm going to be a pastor. It just faded that way.
All right. Yeah. Now tell me, off the cameras, you said you got married in the same year. Unfortunately, Mom is not around to help us, shed more light on this part. But tell me, what was the experience? What happened? Did you plan to marry?
Let me explain. Traditional is that the elder should marry before the younger. So I found a fiancé to marry before he found. So when I asked for permission,
were you in a hurry? Or what was the plan?
Yeah, my thought was I wanted to marry early in life, have children early, then concentrate on my career.
Okay. So you planned that at a tender age?
At a very tender age.
Wow, that's unusual.
I began praying for my wife 7 years before I married her. So what happened, he gave me permission to marry. So I began preparing for marriage.
Okay.
In the meantime, he found his. So when I wanted to go ahead and marry, he told me, wait, you're younger. You can't go ahead of him. So we had to wait for him to marry.
Okay.
That's how we ended up marrying the same year.
But different months?
Same month. Because what I had prepared for my wedding, I handed over for him to her.
Why didn't you just do a double head?
No, we are not twins.
Was that going to be deemed a taboo?
No, we didn't think so, but I thought it would be respectful for my other brother.
Would you have thought
he needed to go ahead?
The same?
Exactly.
You would have thought he was disrespectful?
Exactly.
That's why he told me to stop.
That's what I told him. No, wait.
But then tell me, wasn't it too costly for you, staging up 2 important events in life in the same year? In the same month?
Him was a full-blown wedding. I sacrificed mine. He had a full-blown wedding.
Okay.
Had a very simple thing. That's why I have no pictures about a wedding. We just had a very simple thing, and we married.
Don't you feel guilty about that?
Well,
don't you feel like I disadvantaged my young brother?
He's hearing it now.
That's what he's telling me now.
Okay, so tell me, what's running in your mind?
Right now, since it's past now.
Can't you do what is it called? Marriage renewal. Ain't you planning to do that?
Yes.
Or have you done that?
He has done it already.
I've done part of it, but
what do you mean part of it?
We've renewed our vows, but we haven't done it in the way like other people do it. You do a full-blown marriage.
Why? Don't you think it would be colorful where you are in a suit, is in a wedding dress and stuff?
Maybe.
And probably the kids are on the lineup, some stuff.
Maybe when I celebrate my jubilee in marriage.
When are you hitting your jubilee?
20 years from now.
20 years from now. No, Bishop, for once you've lied. Okay, on this note, let's just take a break. What song are we going to listen to?
Let's listen to I Go Follow by Click O2. Now, Click O2 is a family-based music. It's led by my firstborn, that is Manasseh, Aka lawyer boy. He sang it with his young sister.
Okay.
Grace is Chichi. And then our last born Berezi, we call him PRZ when they're singing. And so they combined together and then they formed
A clique.
Clique or two.
Wow.
Yeah, Clique or two, and then they sang I Go Follow.
Yeah, so many ways to follow, man. So many couches and things to follow. But I choose to follow Christ, so let's go. Lawyer boy, tell me I'm bro. Let's do this one more time. We back. Yeah, guess what?
I go follow Jesus Christ. I go carry the cross of Christ. I go do whatever he wants. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow. 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 Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka.
Follow, follow, follow. Hashtag YOLO. This beat go crazy but itiliche mulolo. Mulungu ni mukulu kila makolo wa makolo. One budget many na mabudget shout uno. You know, devil kwako nguchidulo. Ukungo samwa bati ukali na tulo. Sin is paging like David, I'm dodging. In this song I'm praising, see my Lord is blessing.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow. I go follow. I go follow.
Yeah.
Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka.
amweo ni seo mwatipasa koseo mwativesa mwishe mwachosa pova ndeo tie follow kuli yesu au follow basala ni vambiri boy time ni ngono savior is a savior kairi ndiye savior atipulu musa guys mu my pleasure no wonder nowadays sitting kala na my pleasure yeah move it easy.
I go follow Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I go carry the cross of Christ. I go do whatever he wants. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow. I go follow. I go follow. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka.
You can't see me, Zindene John Cena. Let the part begin in an easy vinna. It's a mully yes, daily tingo inna. We are the champu kaili tingo winner. Jesus is a timukonka. Wherever he goes, Mongan calling a mulonda. He was mocked, whipped, Babylonda. For his sake, venangu wa muzonda.
I go follow Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I go carry the cross of Christ. I go do whatever he wants. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow. I go follow. I go follow. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow. I go follow. I go follow. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I go carry the cross of Christ. I go do whatever he wants. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka. I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow.
Yeah.
I go follow. I go follow. I go follow. Kuyamika mulungu ine senzaleka.
Yes, I. Mofu diggy day.
yeah
PR to the dance day.
Last letter.
Dizo
Chichimwa.
I go follow right there. This is Steel Cage and the Clay segment where we're getting in the life of Bishop Fred Mwale, and we've been joined by the church elder, of course, within the same church with Bishop Fred Mwale, and is actually also Mr. Mwale. Welcome to Cage and the Clay.
Thank you.
You're welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Great. How's the family?
The family is okay.
Okay.
Of course, yeah.
We thank God.
Yeah.
Now, Bishop. You lied, Bishop. Why did you have to lie to the nation?
No lies to the nation.
Why should you hit 50 20 years from now?
Because I must be around 30 years in marriage, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, you meant in marriage?
In marriage.
Ah, great. Okay. Point of correction.
Yeah.
20 years from now, Bish will be actually 50 years old in marriage.
In marriage, yes.
All
in
right.
terms of my age, I'm over 50.
Oh, great. I
Yes.
thought so.
I celebrated my jubilee with Zambia.
Okay. Oh,
So
great.
I'm as old as Zambia.
Wow.
But
Wow.
in marriage,
Your age mate.
yes, I
Zambia.
met with Zambia. So,
Okay. So now tell me about your tertiary education.
Yeah, after my Form 5, I went to Freya Teachers College. That's why I did 2 years there.
What were you training in?
I was training as a teacher, primary
Okay.
school teacher. And so when I went to Freya Teachers College, even as I was training in Freya Teachers College, I was part of what I found as a Christian movement. I was the first chairperson for Zafes
Okay.
at Freya Teachers College.
Okay.
Right in my first year, I was preaching to the group. And upon graduation, I was granted, I was awarded as the best student.
Okay.
Overall performance.
Wow.
I was given a trophy. And the best student in performance, and also best student should be in English or religious studies.
So tell me, you taking up the teaching career, was it a mantle that Dad passed on to you?
Not really. Mom wanted one of our sons to be a pastor.
Okay.
Dad wanted one of our sons to be a teacher.
Okay.
But my initial thought, I wanted to be a medical doctor.
Wow.
Of course, I'm very good with biology and things like that. That's
Okay.
that area. But my maths wasn't very good. So because my maths wasn't very good, I couldn't proceed to University of Zambia to do that.
Okay.
So while I was still thinking, it was on a Sunday, I was asked to preach as a youth in UCZ.
Okay.
And after preaching, the principal of Nistico began to inquire, who is that young man who preached? Then they was told, now, he's a son of one of your late workers. That's when he just called to the office and said, do you like to go into teaching? I said, that's a second thought. I don't want to go there. They looked at me and laughed and gave me papers to fill in. I applied and then I was accepted. That's how I went to.
So in other words, they sponsored your tertiary education?
No, I sponsored. My older brother sponsored that.
Oh, okay, okay.
It wasn't an easy one. It wasn't easy because sometimes I would have difficulties in funding. Okay. And then the fellowship, just people would contribute, sometimes help me go to school and then complete and come back. And the larger chunk, my brother was able to help. Where I was not able to help, just well wishers had to help us.
So share with me, how hard was it that time around for one to set on a certain, career path?
It wasn't very easy that time because, most times when you're at school, you're not thinking so much about the combination of subjects to determine your career path. You're just saying, I want 6 points. So you get 6 points, so what? Then you look at the combination of subjects, it's not really determining your career path. And so it was just, let me finish school. You have no idea what you're going to become. But at the back of my mind, I really wanted to be a medical doctor. But I couldn't do that because my results couldn't do that.
Okay.
So I had to go into teaching. But I don't regret.
Okay.
I don't regret.
You enjoy it now. Okay.
I have a passion for teaching.
Wow.
So when I came out of teaching, I was posted in Materika Samba Primary School. That's where I started. And then I also started the Scripture Union. Okay. And I was also patron of a drama group. And poetry were all in asas, and all those things were either coming first or second. Okay. And then we also started a district Scripture Union team for Lusaka. We began Scripture Union camps. Okay. For children at primary school level. Traditionally it was secondary school. Okay. But we began starting camps at primary school level. Okay. So it was during that time that. When I was dealing with children, I began counseling children. I began finding they have challenges, most of them quite a challenging situation. So tried to upgrade my skills. I went to do psychosocial counseling. Okay. I did up to intermediate. Okay. Then I began finding deeper challenges with them. Then I went to do special education. Okay. So now I went into special education, teaching children with disabilities. It is there that I upgraded to do a certificate, then upgraded to do a diploma in special, then upgraded to do a first degree in special education. Okay. And then from there, I upgraded to do a master's in education psychology. All right. I've done master's after special psychology. Then I also started a master's in theology that I'm yet to complete this year. All right. Yes.
Run me through. Have you been to a theological school?
My theological training background was not full time in in a theological college. But it was under an arrangement where you're learning from outside, but it was a 4-year.
Like correspondence?
Yeah, you used to have contact sessions. We
Oh,
call
okay.
them contact sessions, but they were run like conferences.
Or where you meet for certain hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was run by a ministry called Africa Ministries International, AFMI.
Okay.
They were the training program. That is where I did a lot of pastoral work.
Okay.
And it was run in such a way that you are training, you also have to train others. So they used to call it on 10 program. And after I completed that one, I got an advanced pastoral training.
Okay.
And then the other is I've been reading. And then I want to do theology now at master's level.
Okay.
Which I'm
So
yet to
what's your highest qualification theologically?
My initial is advanced pastoral training.
Okay.
Then I've done some other leadership training in church. I've done church growth. I've done samadhi, that's church music and worship and praise.
Okay.
Then advanced pastoral training. Currently, I'm doing a master's in theology.
Great.
Yes.
All right.
I haven't yet
Now,
completed.
a few steps backwards. At what point did it like dawn in you to say, okay, now you need to fully give your life to Christ?
That was then when I was in Form 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
What happened?
My background is my family was very religious. Yeah. My brother got saved first. Yeah, and then when I went back, I found them running these things. I didn't understand why they had to organize overnight prayers when I'd go and attend. I'll find this one is crying, this one was just as fascinating. And
So I think because of time, tell me what happened in Form 4.
So when I attended an overnight prayer meeting, interesting thing, no one preached to me about the gospel.
Okay.
But it was in that prayer night.
Not even mom.
Not even mom. They assumed I was a Christian.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
But in that overnight prayer meeting, I had an encounter, a personal encounter. This realization that you haven't made it. All your efforts are not much to talk about. They don't make it. And I saw the reason why Jesus died for me, that I'm a sinner.
Okay.
That has been trying to make life better, but I haven't made it. I felt guilty. I felt the convictions at time. And I remember weeping and then confessing my sins to him.
All right.
From there, a peace was settled in my heart.
All right.
No one told me, you must be born again. I understood what it was to be born again. No one preached to me. That's how I got converted.
Okay.
From there, I went to Sunday school. When I went to Sunday school, I began to see miracles.
Okay.
One of my friends had a liver problem. Bile was getting into the blood. You'd see him green. Yeah. After we prayed for him, he was instantly healed. I began to see these things.
Okay.
No one taught me these things.
Now, in the same vein, when did you start your ministry?
Ministry.
And what prompted?
So that when I joined Scripture Union, I got into leadership, and through Scripture Union trainings for leadership, Christian leadership, I began to get into leadership. So soon after I got converted, I got into leadership. When I came in the field, I joined. There was Reverend Mwale in Matero, and I joined the church.
Okay.
That's where ministry began.
You served under him?
Yeah, I served under him as an elder. And then after serving under him as an elder, in 1994, that's when I got ordained as a minister of religion at Yunza Chapel.
Okay.
Then in 2004, I got ordained as a bishop.
All right.
So I'm running as a presiding bishop of Mission Breakthrough. I've planted churches before. This is my second church that I've planted.
Okay, let's get to why did you choose Mr. Mwale as your elder?
Maybe you can explain. How did you become an elder?
Was it because you share the same surname? Is the bishop tribalistic?
Well, I think he is a better person who is in a better position.
Bishop, the boy is thrown at
answer
you.
that question. The reason why, yes, I might say maybe he saw some potential in me, but
are you trying to doubt? You're saying maybe. Don't you think you have potential?
Maybe to help him.
There is potential, but why I'm saying maybe, there are so many reasons people maybe are chosen into leadership.
Okay, before we get him to explain why he chose you as the elder, tell me, who is he to you?
He is a very good friend of mine as at now, because we have been together for over 25 years.
Now, when you say as at now, are you intending to change? At some point, he may stop being a friend?
No, because there is a lot.
Okay.
He's more than a friend. Somehow, we have even become relatives because of intermarriages of children and so forth.
So some people tell me to say you can't have a pastor for a friend and at the same time your spiritual father. How do you manage the two?
I think the interesting thing is that I met him as one of the members in the church.
Okay.
Yeah, where I was pastoring. And because of his maturity and his spiritual maturity, that's when I chose him, appointed him as a deacon, then moved on to be an elder, and then he became a board member. Now it is during that interaction that as we've been together,
yes,
that somehow children have married, and then somehow you become relatives by virtue of marriage.
Okay.
Because my first elder brother's second, third born son married in their family.
Okay.
But that is about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the background that we've had with him.
All right. As we wrap this segment,
yes.
Elder Mwale, tell me what is so special about Bishop Mwale in terms of leadership.
In terms of leadership, Bishop Mwale, I see him, he is very much unique as compared to other clergymen.
What makes him stand out?
What makes him stand out? Because he just wants to run a ministry in his own unique way. He doesn't want, in short, what I mean, he doesn't want to copy from other people.
And he's not, into competition.
No.
Okay.
He's not into competition.
So tell me, what is your role in the church as an elder?
I'm just generally an elder, just to help wherever there's a shortfall. Maybe it can be in secretariat or in any other areas.
You are the general.
Yeah, I help.
The general manager of the church. Okay.
Not really the general manager.
Okay.
Yeah, I help because what we have decided as a church, especially what we have talked to him, is that let's help groom the young ones.
Okay.
As the elder ones should be at the background.
Okay. So Bishop here alluded to the fact that when he was an elder, from there, that's when he thought of becoming, a pastor, running his own church. Since you are an elder, are you intending to branch off and start your own?
No.
Why?
I don't intend to do that.
Why?
Because I believe God's calling is not everyone who has to be a pastor.
Okay.
Others have to accept to be led.
Great.
Yes.
Well said. Beautiful. Okay, so let's just take a break. We'll be right back after listening to the the music of Deborah C with a song entitled Zina Lanu.
chifundo chanu na chikondi chanu ambuye nikapempa mumanipata nakuyamikani nakutamanda tiyamika zina matendo ya mapola tikaitana pazina lanu ziwanda zimatawa